Look at this. So tell me about that. Tell me about the work you're doing, and tell me about what you were talking about earlier about all the work that's going on in the district.
Well, the district, we have a lot of work going on, but it's systemic. So, it's something to ground us and to help move us forward in the future. And so this year, we started out saying our teachers, our custodians, our maintenance staff, we need to have staff development talking about issues of equity, talking about our student population and the beauty of being in a multiracial school district. So with that work, December 1st, our custodians, bus drivers, maintenance staff, they all engaged in conversations and dialogues about situations where you may have to stand up for what is right in terms of equity.
Now, from what I understand, they're very excited and very dedicated and committed to this work.
They are very excited, and they want to partner. Everyone wants to work together, so that's the good
Really
thing
nice
about it. Then you have our elementary teachers who have 6 planned equity sessions talking about issues of race, poverty, talking about identity. Also, what is our mindset? Are we of a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? And so in our district, we are of a growth mindset.
What does that mean?
Growth mindset means that we all have the potential to be the best that we can be. So it's not fixed in terms of just this model based on the bell curve and set intelligence, but about effort and being persistent and having that grit in place.
I like that you're also talking about identity, because then you're not just saying, we're doing this for this group of people, but we're doing it for all of us. We're all involved. We're all in this boat. It betters our whole community.
And it's everybody's identity. So it's not just the identity of our students, but it's students, it's staff, it's family. And that is what makes the movement, and that's our district improvement plan is grounded in a social movement that is not just the school alone, but it's the families in the community that helps us to move forward.
So it's easy for, speaking of the community, for someone to stand outside of the schools and say, well, you're not doing anything. And I can see how that, would be easy to do that. But from the inside, what's your perspective? What is going on?
Oh, I mean, in terms of what's going on, there is a lot going on. So just speaking from the high school perspective and thinking about the high school work, we have what's going on, our school climate work, where our students have taken the initiative to administer surveys, nationally standardized surveys, that said what kind of school you want to be in, what are you experiencing. And so then our partners, UMass partners, they're taking this data and then they're going to bring the results of the data back so that we can improve what we do as a school district based on the student voice.
And the students have already taken the survey, right?
Middle school and high school, they've already taken the survey.
And then we've got the community survey with Amherst Together.
Take the survey. Yes, please take the Amherst Together survey.
AmherstTogether.org.
Yes, because
sorry.
Amen. But all that information
helps
us to move forward in a systematic manner where all voices are heard too as well. Also, we have our high school students who are going into the elementary school, and they also are going into the middle school too as well.
So the high schoolers are coming into because they're excited to mentor and work with the
yes. So it's called Courage to Act through our MSAN project. And so what these 10th, 11th, and 12th graders are doing are going to Fort River, and they're engaging in lessons, dialogue about identity. Because even though our schools are 50% students of color, or not, you still have to know
50 or 51.
51%. So it's 51% of students of color. You still have, as a student of color, you still have to know, where am I in all of this? How do I fit in? How can I be successful? So we have student leaders engaged in that. Also at the high school, we have students who are part of an organization called Black Lives Matter.
So that's a new organization.
And that's a new organization. So they were the ones who helped to plan the walkout in terms of the dialogue with Ferguson. And I know you could probably speak to some of that.
I know Sajo and Liam, and I'm very impressed with the way they handled that, absolutely. They invited me to come and help facilitate some of the dialogue at the library, which I was really nervous because I wanted to respect their space and not, be the adult in the room. And they did a phenomenal job.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. And so they're continuing to meet. So they haven't
serious.
lost the momentum
Right.
of we need to have these dialogues. We need to move forward with the work. We also had a group of students too as well to do a parent dialogue, inviting parents and different community members in just to talk about how things are in Amherst, but also to use
Now,
their
who
facility.
invited the parents?
The students
The
invited
students.
the parents. And
Okay.
so Amherst Together had an opportunity, right,
Yeah.
to interview the participants from the community about how do they feel about Amherst.
And that was during the intergenerational.
Yes,
things. Okay.
the intergenerational team, the work with Calvin Terrell. So when we say there is a lot going on.
I know, you're excited. You're just like,
Yeah. It's like, and there is a lot going on. And then speaking from school climate, we have training the active bystanders, so anti-bullying programs in place. So we're thinking about issues of equity, but we're also thinking about how do kids feel about school, how do they fit in, how do they interact with each other. So it's called Training the Active Bystander TAB program, where students train each other on how to stand up when issues of bullying are going on around them. What's the appropriate way to handle that? And so what's so useful is that you have high school students coming into the middle school showing kids strategies, providing strategies that they can use without being prompted by adults in order to do that work. So empowering students to be leaders, empowering students like to change our community to make a shift.
You know, it's exciting. It's like you came into this position, you're like, all right, I have these things to do, but it's almost like you're catching up to the kids, to the students.
Oh my goodness, yes, and they know what they want,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. So if we
And that's
listen
exciting.
to their voices, then they give us the strategies. We
That's
just
right.
need to bring in the resources
That's right, to support them.
to support them.
Because
And
they're
guidance.
keeping it relevant. They're keeping the dialogue relevant as well. So as adults, we have to keep up with where things are headed. It's their future.
Yeah, and then principals are thinking about their teachers and interns, and teachers are thinking too, in terms of their instructional strategies within the classroom to engage all students.
So let's talk about the teachers. Are they embracing, the work of the students, or how is that going? Are the students talking to the teachers as well? I know they're talking to the families and they're talking to the younger kids. Do they have any plans to have dialogue with teachers?
So dialogue days are coming up at the high school. The first one this year on February 10th.
Nice.
So we're excited about that, working to see how that will unfold. So that's teachers and students engaged in conversations together.
That's awesome.
So I want to hear about what happened. And they started that work last year with Dr. Pat Romney.
Okay.
Just saying,
Who's
okay,
phenomenal.
this is the opportunity for us just to debrief and to talk about what's going on, to kind of help the healing process.
Yeah.
So
It is a
because
healing process.
we need to heal in order to move forward. So they're also, in terms of that, they're having a good news assembly at the high school, the first one ever, just to talk about the good that is going on and tapping into students who are not usually the leaders.
A good news assembly?
Good news. Not one.
Oh,
Good news.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and it's their first one this year on February 10th too as well.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You never hear about that.
No. And so it's our opportunity to share what's going on.
That's fantastic.
It's good. Everyone is doing a great job, and they have good intentions.
Yes.
And so it feels good to be a part of a movement where everyone wants the child to grow, to blossom, to be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
And we'll all get there.
Yeah, I think so. I feel confident. And go see Selma.
Yes. All right. And check out amhersttogether.org.